All right. Sorry about that. My computer muted itself. Good morning. My name is Mrs. Scroggin. Sorry about that. I had unmuted, but I'm having some technical issues today. So, am I saying your name right? Amari? Is that right? Amari? You can either unmute your mic or you can answer me in the chat. And then, okay, great. Thank you, Amari. How about, is it Janaya? Awesome. Okay. Welcome, Amari and Janaya. We had a small onboarding group this week. So coincidentally, you get me all to yourself today, just the three of us. So I am Mrs. Scroggin. I'm the Social Emotional Learning Coordinator here at HCCA. And basically, I do a lot of different things that center around student services. So my information is good for you to have. So you may want to jot this down somewhere. My phone number and my email are up on the screen. So I'll give you a little introduction of the things that I do. I know you're probably a little bit on information overload from orientation. So if you ever have questions or you can't remember something or you don't know who to go to for something, I'm a good person to contact. So I oversee this PBIS program that I'm going to teach you about today. I oversee homerooms and the Tutor Me program and several other student related things. So feel free to reach out to me anytime, but I am only available to answer you Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you reach out outside of those hours, you'll hear back from me by the next day. All right, so have either of you done PBIS before? Are you familiar with it, not familiar with it? No? Okay. Excellent. So this won't be something that you have to just sit through that you already know about. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put up a poll and you can click and drag this little black screen around on your computer and if it's in your way. So I'm asking to see if you can guess, and there's 2 points to this poll. One, so you can see kind of how they work so that you know when you use these in class, what they look like on the teacher screen. And another is just participation to see kind of what you know on my end. So what is PBIS? Is it a test, school discipline, a way to earn rewards, or a studying website? Okay, Amari, take a guess for me. And then I'm going to show you what this poll looks like. Awesome. So what happens is when there is an anonymous poll given in class, you'll get to see just like this. I can see on my screen who answers, but when a teacher shares, it's all anonymous. So there's no risk for you in answering any of these questions when teachers do that. So the answer was C. Good job. PBIS stands for Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, which is just a very fancy way on this chart of saying that we are rewarding you for doing the right things at school. So I'm going to teach you about that today. So how it works is if you look at the bottom, student meets school expectations, the teacher or staff recognizes that and gives you points, and then you use your points for prizes. So the first part of the presentation today is talking about what those expectations are, and the second part is talking about the rewards and prizes and how to get into your PBIS account. So the first part, what I like to do is get thoughts from you on what all of these things mean, and then I can share my thoughts with you. So participation is strongly encouraged. You can unmute your mic or you can type in the chat. Either one is fine. Remember, it's just the three of us today. So what are the HCCA expectations? So Hoosier College and Career Academy has an eagle as the mascot, and we created an acronym from the eagle to talk about what we are expecting of you here at school. So that means engaged, active, growing, learning, and empowered. Has either of you been, aside from like the COVID shutdown, has either of you been in a virtual school setting before? Okay. So first time. There are some differences. So I've worked in public schools for many years. We call those brick and mortar here. So this is virtual school. Brick and mortar is when you go in person. There's some similarities, but there are some differences. So let's talk about what that looks like here in virtual school so that you just understand what we're asking of you. So what do you think it means to be engaged and active here in virtual school at HCCA? Can you give me any thoughts? I'll give you a minute to type. Are you both just really shy? Typing in the chat and following along, excellent. Yes. So there's different ways to be engaged and active. Definitely answering and responding when the teacher's asking questions is a huge thing. So if you're shy and you want that camera off and you want your microphone off, that's okay with us, but we do expect that you are engaging with us. So you're participating, you're following along, you are answering questions. That's a great answer. How about growing? What do you think it means to be growing at school? And just so you know, as you participate, I am going to be giving you PBIS points just for being here today and for participating. I have my little second screen up here, and I'm going to let you hear what it sounds like. So if you heard that little noise, that was me giving you each a point for answering in the chat when I ask you questions. So that's part of being engaged and active. How about growing at school? Any thoughts on growing? Excellent. I agree. Improving is a way to show that you're growing. All right. I'm going to give you a break from having to answer questions, and I'm going to show you a short video. It's just a few minutes long, but it's about growth mindset. So this is a way to show growth at school, and you can kick back, relax, and watch it, and then I'll ask you some questions about how you relate to this when we're all done watching. Darn, thank you. My thing keeps doing that. I think it was when I was playing the video and then it just muted me. So thank you. All right. So anything you relate to on that with the yet? Thinking about, have I put any roadblocks in my own way? For example, I am not good at this because, or I'll never try that because, and then you haven't really given it all of the effort that you could have. Have you experienced anything like that? Or is there anything that you're interested in trying and you just haven't put in the work yet to try it? Okay, if you're typing, I'll give you another minute and I'll just reiterate what they said is that you have the power to do what you want to do as long as you put the work in to do it. So instead of putting roadblocks in your way, if there's something that you're struggling with, try and make improvements by putting in the effort, doing the work, getting the help, and you can improve on things. And so if you've struggled in the past in other schools, this is a redo. This is a chance to start over. So what do you want to do differently this time around so that you can be even more successful than you've been in the past? So keep in mind that power of yet. Okay, I think the learning at school is pretty self-explanatory and you are a quiet pair. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to explaining what these things are to you. So the things that we're looking for are that you're engaged during class, and that means staying at your computer and listening. So not logging in and walking away, being respectful of your classmates and teachers. So if you are in a situation where you are put in a breakout room, it's just like a small group setting and you're supposed to be talking with the other students, do so respectfully. Actually participate. Don't just get on your phone or don't get into social media or log in and do something else. So you want to be just like you're at school in person. If your teacher's talking or if you're in a group, participate in those things. Ask and answer questions and use the tools that we provide, just like that survey that I put up. You were using that, or if we play a game or we have an activity in class, use those tools that we provide. We love camera and microphone, but don't require it. If there's a reason that you have it off, that's okay. But do talk to us in the chat so that we do know that you're there. You can take notes, avoid the distractions that I talked about with other things going on at home, and maintaining focus. Asynchronous learning is like if we have professional development for teachers or if we have parent-teacher conferences or something like that, and you are supposed to log in and do your assignments, but there's no teacher or class period that day. That's asynchronous learning. So you're engaged when you log in, read your emails, check your announcements, and complete the assignments that the teachers give to you. You can show that you're engaged with your assignments by turning them in on time, making sure they're complete, and following the directions. These are all pretty standard school things. You can show you're growing by doing things like increasing your participation. So I noticed that the two of you are kind of quiet. So you're not participating a lot, but you are sort of answering a little bit. So if you get more comfortable with a certain teacher and you start participating more, your teacher will notice that growth, including sharing new ideas. Maybe you take a risk and turn on your camera or your microphone. Maybe you get more comfortable with answering or asking more questions. So take those risks. Attend your help sessions. So if you're struggling in a class and you want to do better and improve your grade, do that and you can show you're learning and growing. Being proactive is just making sure that you are not waiting until somebody else points something out or somebody else assigns something. You know what you want or you know what you need. You take responsibility for it and you get on top of things. You are using your time wisely. If you have extra attempts in a class, use those. If your teacher gives you feedback on an assignment and allows you to apply that feedback and turn it back in for a higher grade, do that. Empowered is a word that not everybody's familiar with. So I just wanted to go over some of these things. Like, we're not in the room with you, obviously, as you know. So we don't see you, we don't hear you. All we can do is communicate with you in the room chat if that's what you're choosing to do. So you need to make sure that you are communicating with us. That's the biggest thing. So if you are not telling us that you're struggling, or if you're not telling us that you don't understand something, or that you lost something, or that you can't be there for a certain reason, we don't know how to reach out to help you if you don't communicate. So advocate for yourself, ask for those supports, and understand that you are taking ownership and responsibility for your own learning, because we can't be there to make sure you're doing those things. So be at your computer, do your assignments, attend help sessions, ask about Tutor Me. Whatever you need to do the work, and taking responsibility for your own work shows that you're empowered, and reaching out for help when you need it. Also, turning in work that is your own. That means nobody else is doing your work for you, and you're not copying your work from somebody else. You're giving your best effort. How about planning ahead for larger assignments? So tell me in the poll really quick. Click on the check mark if you consider yourself a procrastinator, and click on the X if you think you are not a procrastinator. Procrastinators put things off until the last minute. All right, so we're split. Very interesting. Okay, so we don't want to procrastinate and put things off to the last minute. The reason for that is, even though it seems more fun at the time, then it causes a bunch of stress at the end. So if you know you have something large to do, a project perhaps, and it's due in a couple of weeks, we don't wait until the day before it's due. We don't study for something the morning of. We put the time in and we plan ahead so that we don't create stress for ourselves. That is showing that you're empowered. Okay, so that's all the things that we're asking you to do. Here's the fun part. What rewards can I earn? So we have an Eagle's Nest store that you can log into, but your teachers have also been encouraged to create a store. So if there's a subject maybe that you are struggling in, or you can use an extra boost, you may want to check out that teacher store and see what you can purchase with your PBIS points. So you get to choose what you buy. And you can buy several smaller things. You can save up your points for a larger reward. And when you're ready, you can let a staff member know, and then we will authorize your purchase for you. So these are some examples of the Eagle's Nest store. I also do a rewards assembly. We added an extra one this year. So we did one in September and December. We're going to do another one in March and another one in May. So if you are interested in saving up PBIS points and buying raffle entries, I do a random raffle drawing. So this is not, you're not buying these prizes with your raffle tickets or your raffle entries. You're buying an entry into a random drawing. So these are the prizes available. And when we have that assembly, if I will be putting out a Google form in homerooms that if you want to purchase any raffle entries, you can do so, and I will deduct them from your account for you, and then you can go into this raffle. So that's another option for your PBIS points. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. This is what your student account looks like, and I'm going to share my screen with you because I want to show you something really quick. This tends to confuse people, so I want to show you. Oh, it is not. It is not pulling up the screen that I wanted to share with you. So give me just a second and I will try to pull it up over here. All right, so I was using Chrome, which I usually use, and then it wouldn't let me into my Class Connect today. So I had to use Firefox, and now it's being funny about me sharing my screen. So let me see if I can get this one up now. Got it. Okay, so this is what the screen will look like, and you'll see a Google sign in, a class link, and a Clever. Ignore those. So where you see my little cursor blinking where it says enter teacher code, that is what you need to use. And I am going to give you the link, and I'm going to give you your code in just a second in the chat. So let me get that back up for you. So this is what your screen will look like, and you can get in and look at all of the different things like your purchases, the different stores, how many points you have. So this is the website that you're going to go to. I'm going to put this in the chat for you, and you're going to go ahead and do that right now. We're going to walk you through it. So go ahead and go to that. I'm going to create a code for you right now, and that is what you're going to put in that section that I just showed you. So not the first three, go to that other one, the teacher one. And then you're going to put this exact code in there. I'm creating it right now because you only have 8 hours to do this. So I do it right live. So go to the link, use that passcode for the teacher where it says teacher code. And then you're going to type your name in the box that says find yourself. You probably are going to see a 6 there. That is not your grade. It says probably year 6. It doesn't mean that you're in 6th grade. It means that this year you have so far earned 6 PBIS points. So that's what that means. Be sure to click remember me in the upper right-hand corner, because if you don't, you'll have to email me to get a new code to get back in and do this again. So click on remember me. Did you both get in? Thank you, Janaya.
I'm logged in.
Awesome. Okay, so you have an opportunity to just kind of look around in there, see what's all in there. And then I'm going to put my email here. So if you wanted to copy it, you can. So again, I'm Mrs. Scroggin. My email is scroggin@hoosieracademy.org. If you have questions about PBIS, or if you for some reason forget to click remember me, or you have issues logging in, you can reach out to me and get a new code. Or if you have other questions about PBIS, you can let me know. If you're interested in the Tutor Me program, which is our free service offered 24/7 virtual tutoring for all of our students, if you ever want to learn more about that, you can reach out to me too, but I make announcements about that in homeroom. You should have received a homeroom interest survey, or student interest survey, that helps me to place you in the right homeroom. So if you have questions about any of those things, you can reach out to me. Do you have any questions now? Okay. Are you
Where's the
both in?
where's the
Oh, go ahead.
remember me box?
So it should be, let me see if I can make like I'm going to